Guys, thanks for coming back again. This video is going to be a bit shorter than the last one that I put out, which was just check it in the video link anyway. So this video is going to be about the similarities that I've come to with many of the Mandela effect, or affected by the Mandela affected things, I guess. Not really sure how to word that. So first of all, I've got my little notes just down here. That's why I keep looking down. You've got the Bible. So you've got the lion and the lamb story has now changed to the wolf and the lamb. Again, I'm not a huge Bible scholar or anything like that. I'm only going just by what I've read on this and what I've seen. So I don't know the stories myself. But with regards to that, what I gauge from this is that the two animals are very distinctly different. You've got a lion, which is a very prideful, noble king, I guess. And then you've got a wolf, which the first thing that comes into my head is a wolf in sheep's clothing. And it's a story about a wolf and a lamb. Could be coincidental, but then when you hear everything else I've got to say, it kind of starts to add up. So again, just sticking with the Bible, you've got the Lord's Prayer, Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. So again, that has changed. Again, I'm sure people know this already, but now it says in earth rather than on earth, which again, a massive difference. So what that means to me, again, I'm not an overly religious person. I'm taking all of these examples as quite literal. In earth, to me, could that be depicting? So I thought, what's in our earth? And I thought you've got the core. The core is very hot. Hell is hot, or apparently a very hot place, a fiery place. In earth, maybe hell. Again, I might be jumping to conclusions. Sorry if the camera's a bit wobbly. I'm having to hold it up with one arm and read at the same time. I need to get a tripod. This one, Cruella de Vil, the wicked lady in 101 Dalmatians. Her name has changed the way how you spell it. And this one is an interesting one for me personally because... So I'm just going to grab a chair actually whilst I'm doing this. Going to sit down, it'll be a bit easier. But with Cruella de Vil, I have looked into Disney quite extensively for non-Mandela effect purposes, more to do with their messages that they have in their films, and their logo, their history. And I did remember reading an article about Cruella de Vil. And I can't believe it didn't strike me until I read that article that her name is basically Cruel Devil. Let that sink in for a second already. So, I've got heaps of examples here. But when you think of Cruel Devil, you've got In Earth, again, which depicts a fiery core. You've got the lion and the lamb, the wolf and the lamb, a wolf in sheep's clothing. These are starting to add up. Okay, so you got Prince, so the singer, his song, I can't remember which song it is. Again, I'm not a huge Prince fan. I'm just going by examples I found on the internet there. You've got Let's Get Through This Thing Called Life is what it is now. Whereas people are saying it was previously Let's Celebrate This Thing Called Life. So let's get through this life. That sounds like it's a trudge. It's an arduous mission. So wow, come on, guys, let's get through this. Whereas let's celebrate it. Again, that almost seems very negative to me how it's worded now. So again, Forrest Gump, probably one of the most famous examples. So I know it as him saying life is like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get. He now says life was, again, past tense. So maybe life did used to be like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get. Maybe, I don't know, I'm just jumping the gun here. This is just off the top of the head, but but maybe now you do know what you're going to get because it's controlled. I don't know. I'll try and get through this because it takes a while to compress the video. So the Volkswagen logo. This is a very interesting one. So I had to do a little bit of research on this one. So we know the logo as saying VW, as in the car company Volkswagen, as they would call it. If you look at the Volkswagen logo through a set of eyes, or through a clean set of eyes, it could be VVV as the logo, depending on how you look at the W, whether it's a W or two V's. So the V, I was looking into this, and the V's, so I'm sorry if I'm butchering my pronunciation with this, is the Vav in Hebrew, is the number 6. So if you're looking at the Volkswagen logo, it's 666. Again, that's just a little bit of extra research there. How true that is, I don't know. But on a side note, talking about the Vav in Hebrew, the Monster drink, Monster energy drink, that too says 666 on the can in Hebrew, because that symbol it has is, again, when I looked into this previously, if I remember, the symbol it shows on there is meant to be the cross, the pins that go into Jesus's hands when he was on the cross. Something, again, I apologize if I'm getting that wrong. That's irrelevant to this. That's just a side note, so I'll move on anyway. The Volvo logo, so it now has an arrow, so it depicts a male, a masculine sign. I couldn't really think of anything too sinister for this, but logically, from a sales perspective, a marketing perspective, you'd be massively limiting your demographic that would want to buy a vehicle if it's got a male logo on there. It's quite sexist. It's quite specific who you're targeting it to, and you think women drive as well. So on a logical perspective, that just doesn't make sense why it would be the male logo. This one is a big one, so I only put a video up of this the other day. So the Capricorn astrological sign, the goat. Again, I don't know if any other signs have changed. I only know this one specifically because I am a Capricorn. The goat is often, so Baphomet or Baphomet, the devil, Beelzebub, whatever you want to call him, is often depicted as a goat or a goat's head. When you look at the upside down star, it's basically the goat's head. If anyone's religious or looked into any other alternative type videos, they'll know what I'm talking about. So yeah, the Capricorn is a goat's head, also a representation of Baphomet. So you got Queen, we are the champions, where it misses off of the world at the end. I can't really think of anything overly sinister of that, but it's of the world. So I'm not sure if that's a reference to anything. You've got the Star Wars scenes. You've got Luke, I am your father, which is now no, I am your father. And also C-3PO, the gold character in that, now has a silver leg or a silver shin, lower leg. I know him as being all gold. I had a toy figure of him. One of my favourite toys. I used to collect toys when I was younger. In The Wizard of Oz, there's a scene where the Scarecrow now has a gun. I mean, a gun can be sinister if it's in the wrong hands, I guess. It's just a tool. It depends on who's using it. In that scene as well, though, there is what looks like some sort of poltergeist spirit that takes away the Tin Man. So if you watch this, I've got a video of this on my account. I didn't record the whole of it, but they say something like, "Oh, I'm not scared of spooks. I'm not scared of spooks," and it is quite a creepy scene, actually. I have to say, for a children's film, I thought it was pretty creepy. But yeah, you see the Tin Man, he gets taken up and then thrown back down as if a poltergeist is doing that to him. Could be irrelevant, but it's just in that same scene where the Scarecrow now has a gun. You've got the California Dreaming song by the Mamas and Papas. So a lot of people remember that as I began to pray. Um, that has now changed to I pretend to pray. Again, so another kind of religious tone to the things that have changed on here. Then you've got Mirror, Mirror on the Wall, which is by the evil queen in Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. Now, I believe there was an esoteric level, from my understanding, mirrors are like a reflection to the soul or something to that. I mean, I look into some weird stuff when I'm researching. So, yeah, from my take of it, mirrors and bathtubs. I know bathtubs are nothing to do with this, but they are very underworldly. Whether it's magic or, I mean, it is magic mirror on the wall now. So, yeah, again, talking about Disney again, there's a lot of bad things in their films. Um, yeah, and I used to be a big fan when I was little. Toy Story was actually my first ever VHS. So yeah, I did used to love Disney. Um, you got the JFK assassination as well, which I was going to say I can't find anything too sinister about that, but I mean that to me is bizarre because again with my odd little research things that I do, it was about 2-3 months ago I happened to be looking into the JFK assassination. Yeah, the video has definitely changed. As I say, when I first saw that video, I couldn't tell who on earth it was that shot him or where the bullet came from. Now it looks like he's having his brains blown out by his wife with a gun under his neck. When you look at the trajectory of his skull going out, maybe I'm jumping to conclusions, who knows, but that's what it looks like to me. And so far, guys, that's the list that I've compiled. I know I have missed some things off there indefinitely because there's so many Mandela effect changes, people's names and products like Cap'n Crunch and Fruit Loops and things like Berenstain Bears. But these are the ones that came to my mind that maybe had some sort of relevance. And what I seem to be getting out of this so far, again, I'm agnostic. If you've watched my previous video, I'm agnostic. I seem to be getting more biblical undertones from all of this. Again, whether it's to do with pretend to pray, whether it's mirror, mirror on the wall, again, saying mirrors have some sort of view to the soul or something to that effect. Capricorn, the goat, Volkswagen logo, the VVV 666. Prince, not necessarily biblical there, but let's get through this thing called life, almost making it sound like it's a trudge from day one. Cruella de Vil, cruel devil. Lion and the Lamb. Now wolf and the Lamb, wolf in sheep's clothing. Lord's Prayer, in earth. We don't live in earth, so it doesn't even make sense. And there's other ones out there like the interview with a vampire is now interview with the vampire. Again, doesn't really make sense in context of the film because a vampire indicates that there's more than one. The vampire, to me, it would indicate that there is like one vampire or one main vampire. Just I don't know. They're the main ones that I've thought of, guys. Do comment. Let me know if there's any other ones that I've missed out that you think have some sort of relevance to solving whatever this is. Also, a video that I am going to look into. So, just going back to my previous video that I posted up about maybe characteristics that people have in common with this. Amazing feedback on there, guys. Amazing. It's almost inspired me to. I'm going to do some more research on something called indigo children, which is something I've heard about before. And I remember someone actually thought that I could have been an indigo child, whereas I just sort of kind of brushed it off and thought you're talking nonsense. I don't even know what that is. But judging by all the things that the people have said on the comments, that they resonated with me with, maybe it's why they too see the Mandela effect going on. So yeah, if anyone knows much about indigo children or anything of that nature, yeah, feel free to send a little comment down below. There was something else I was going to say, slipped my mind, but this is the main gist of this video, guys. It's completely slipped my mind. So I'm going to end it there. I'm going to say have a good day, morning, evening, afternoon, wherever you are in the world. Yeah, comment, subscribe, like the video, share it, talk about it. Yeah, hopefully this helps someone. Hopefully someone else can help me by leaving examples below. Cheers, guys. Thanks a lot.